hissing.
Right.
It's too
Oh,
bright.
God, get away. It burns. It burns. We got some lights down here for us. So, but you know, I will say this: I didn't see as many yawns on the footage there this morning. So that's good news. You know, no need to splash water on their faces.
In fairness, no Venom answers got picked, so that's usually like that usually keeps the yawns back, you know. Like if you see boring heroes coming out, but these are fun heroes, man. Like this game is going to be quite the brawl. A lot of kill potential coming out of the mid lanes. Both off lanes have the potential to just quickly start plowing through towers and taking a chunk of the map. I think there's a little bit more flexibility on Vici to rotate though compared to nouns. Seems like nouns are maybe playing for a later timing, and they're more kind of content with a chill status quo. I think Vici are going to be the ones running and gunning in this game.
Yeah, it's a lineup certainly built around that. And Troll Warlord is absolutely a position one that can get himself involved sooner than later. You'll want some farm, sure, but especially with his ultimate and just whirling axes in general, it can be a strong presence in these fights, right? So it's a game that's setting up to have plenty of clashing, plenty of brawls in general. So hey, nothing wrong with that from our perspective. And I'm sure as people tuning in, they're gonna love that as well. We've been lucky. Well, we pretty much all of our games, I feel like the 6 that we had yesterday were just all action packed. And I don't know if that's been the theme all throughout the LCQ so far, but hey, no complaints here.
Hey, it puts it in perspective. I think we had one game where 4 minutes had passed and you're like, no one's died yet. I'm like, Breaky, chill. Some games go this way, but most of them not. And I agree. This one, there's a lot of kill potency on the laning phase. I think we are in for a brawl. To me, last chance qualifiers is being defined by this kind of fight meta. I think what teams are just trying to do is compound a lead and then snowball it very early on. And if you get stuns, if you get these kill potent heroes around the 8 to 10 minute mark, you could easily be blitzing into the lead and take a game by 2025.
Now, I do recall seeing a bit of Lina mid in the qualifiers and kind of having some flashbacks now to these right-click Linas get it absolutely insane. That if they get the farm that they're looking for, especially early on. And we have seen builds like, you know, the Daedalus even, it's the big red number crits coming out. It's absurd. So if this happens to take into the later game, especially with the Troll Warlord pairing, it does seem like Vici Gaming arguably scales a bit better. I mean, there's always the black hole presence, of course, and Morphling certainly in his own right has scalability. But, you know, just kind of looking ahead to the future, that it does seem like that Nouns maybe doesn't need to finish it early, but not let this one go past too long. You know, let's look at that 40-minute range or so before it can get out of hand. So the battle
begins. Yeah, so the way to think about this is when you look at the drafts, you just see Enigma on one side, like scalability, Morphling, scalability, but it's very deceptive, actually. I think especially when you're talking about an Enigma pick, like this hero is phenomenal in the late game, but the way he scales into the late game, even when he gets a refresher, he's still cooldown restricted. He's still not as consistently useful as something like a Winter Wyvern or a Shaker can be, right? Like you can push a lane with Eidolons, but if you use your black holes, what are you? You're just a walking creep manufacturer at that stage, which is, you know, it's something, I guess. But the other issue is the Tusk. The Tusk can always like scale to be a good save, but Tusk never really kind of take over the game when you're 50 minutes in, per se. Meanwhile, on the other side, you've got a Shaker and a Wyvern. These are two heroes that have a very long history of memorable highlight clips where they essentially win a fight on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. How about this, by the way? Costabile, he's
a
lot of harassment early on, but Husky is going to be up here to support him at the top.
I mean,
bottom lane, Moo also getting low.
Exactly, like Moo is getting completely brutalized at the start of this lane, but Erica may have made a mistake. He came a bit too far forward. First blood drawn. It is actually going to go the way of Nouns.
Yeah, I think maybe the fog of war coming into play there a little bit. It almost seemed like he assumed Viper had fallen back, maybe to regen, but he was still ready to fight, and the shards came out from Tusk and almost catching him off guard on the Troll Warlord. So great first blood for the side of Nouns. Yeah, absolutely be satisfied with that.
And now they're going to come back and immediately brawl, because every time Arctic Burn's off cooldown, you want to use it as best you can. You have to remember Arctic Burn did get nerfed. It used to last 10 seconds, only 7. It's actually impressive the amount of damage they put out with the first usage. But someone I want to highlight that I love, it was a change a while back. You remember they changed salves so you can't just freely use them on teammates and be that helpful anymore?
Sure.
From that point on, it felt like a really big change is that teams started prioritizing killing the core or hurting the core in the lane. Because now, when the carry gets hit, he can't just read to his support and say, please heal me anymore. He has to get a salve himself, which sets back his progress. I think that's another reason why you're seeing a lot more of these sustain type heroes like the Undying and the Wyvern coming into the picture.
Yeah, and for a bit there, you know, things like Chen was just massively popular. The aura build that you would go on him, playing a divine favor, I believe. Anyways, you get what I'm saying as far as the region that he brings, but he got them nerfs in the recent patch and has somewhat died off here. But yeah, certainly a part of what we're seeing here. But I'm just entertained by this top lane and Morphling trying his best to get those last hits in there, but it is a struggle, understandably. Visage 12-4, Morphling 6-0 so far. It doesn't seem like Enigma can do a whole lot, unfortunately, as far as the support role.
Yeah, the tough part is, like, you can try to help by idoloning, but as soon as you do, the Fissure's going to come out, then you can't get your little babies away. All of a sudden, Husky is like a father watching his child die. Like, you just don't... You don't get to have that impact you usually get out of, say, like an Enigma in the 4 or the 3 row.
Well,
sorry, that got kind of poetically deep, didn't it? Like, Papa lost his kids, but...
Oh, no. I mean, you see right there, he pops a Malphus and then kind of walks away. It's like, what did that really do? It just kind of tickled him a little bit and was perhaps annoying, but again, not the scariest presence, it seems like, unfortunately, from the Enigma. Speaking of scary presence, the bottom lane having a bit of a fight. Erica popping the rolling axis, though.
Erica's
so
going to be backfired upon. Move. Look how tanky he is. He's going to be fine. Like, this is actually absurd. This hero with level 1 corrosive skin and free armor, like, it's just making the troll look irrelevant. It ends up being a double kill for Nouns, and Vici, this is a shaky start to the lane phase.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3-0 for Nouns, but both teams' position ones, to be fair, are not necessarily having the best of starts, but yeah, the fact that Troll Warlord has already died twice is a slight concern for Vici Gaming, but it's going to be about making that room eventually, you know? Get the levels on Lina, especially in that mid lane, by the way, top lane, Enigma. He's taking the chill, and Husky going to be body blocked, and eventually the Enchantona comes out from her shaker to help secure that kill. So, good job there, Costabile. Gets Morphling. So okay, I'm sitting here like, oh, you know, he's fine. He's going to do the Morphling thing. He's going to regen. He'll be... Nope, never mind.
So typical greedy morph. He dies with 7 charges. He would have had 5 at the time. He started shifting too late because he wanted to stay on Agi to get the last hit. Typical carry, man. Just one more creep. I swear it's going to be fine. The good news, at least for them, is like Morphling will eventually be unkillable in this lane, right? Like, he should have been unkillable once he got level 3. This was meant to be the hardship gone. The other cool part of this is now, once he gets to that sustainable point, Husky can potentially start jungling. So that's when you'll see this POS 5 Enigma start to escalate his own farm as well.
How's that mid matchup going? It's Lina currently 27-5, 27-3 on the Tiny, so it's actually a fairly good back and forth there in that mid lane. Right now being pushed up in XM's favor. But as far as the build on Lina's concerned, yeah, expect to see, again, a bit more of that right-click style. If you see things like the Silver Edge, I mentioned the Daedalus. Curious to see what XM decides to go for here, though.
Yeah, just the Falcon Blade alone feels really, really good.
Sure.
Right, with Fiery Souls, extra 14 damage, the mana regen you really need to just keep spamming as well. And you see what I was talking about with this lane. Like, Gunner's always going to walk up, use the combo, it'll clear the creep wave, and hit the Lina. The problem is when you walk away, any damage you've done is going to basically be returned. So it should be a net neutral lane.
Speaking of Falcon Blade, also being picked up by Morphling.
So something I was kind of looking towards here is the Shaker rotations when you try it. He tries to move mid, actually ends up going towards the wrong rune. However, it doesn't matter. Okay, actually it does. XM came here too. Scrap that. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he went up when he saw there was no rune. I guess they were paranoid he was going to die. But something I just want to highlight is, like, if you notice on top lane, I talked about this idea that Husky could move away. When he saw that the Shaker left, he tried to hang around to apply pressure on the Visage, but Frisk turned around and came back top. Why this is really annoying for the Enigma is actually, and you can kind of see it here, like the damage that comes out from the Aftershock, just to with 1 point in, is actually enough to kill off the Eidolons before they could split.
Yeah, that is no bueno for Husky.
Oh, mid. XM.
Lane, it's XM in trouble.
Oh my god!
Look at the turn! Okay, he does die, but it's a 1-for-1, but Z-Freak now likely to fall as the TP comes in from Frisk. Will guarantee it in the end, I'm guessing. He doesn't have mana for the Fissure, actually. He's just shy. He has it now, but Z-Freak is still running around. He's got brown
21.
boots. He's fast.
It's 21.
He's
he gets the corner.
Okay.
He's just got 21 stacks. So it's like there's no way he's ever dying. But oh my god, you know, Like, when you're given lemons, make lemonade there. That credit to him. XM, he actually got the kill first, so he gets the XP. Yeah. Brilliant play there. Like, calm and composed, more or less 1 HP, somehow just makes it work. But top, it ain't going to work too well for Visage this time. Final hits coming in, but no. The idle damage is just not good enough.
It's not. He manages to live. I mean,
bottom
lane. Erica, going to be sharded up. Pops around with rolling axes, but with a shard block, and now move running. He's just accepting that. He's like, all right, you got me. Not much more. There's no point in running. Just kill me as soon as possible so I can resurrect and get back to my farm. But the struggle continues for the Troll Warlord at that bottom, at least the third death. Now, I say struggle, but you know what? He is top net worth with Alina, so
yeah, it's impressive,
suppose it's not really.
Yeah, they usually say too angry to die. I mean, like, it seems more depressed than angry at the start, you'd think, until you look like this on the net worth chart, right? Like, it's actually impressive the amount he's managed to find out of this. I mean, Moo is still up there, though. That's the thing I'm going to warn against before any, like, Vici fans go, woohoo, Troll's still in the game. The Viper needs to be addressed because he's definitely becoming a problem.
Yeah, and specifically, he will continue to be an issue for that Troll Warlord, right? So it's how do you address that? How do you take him out? I mean, the Lina explosion is certainly possible, but even that is still not necessarily a guarantee kill on him. But until you get fights.
Until you get BKBs, you actually, like, you can't really fight into him. That's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Like, you mentioned is the counter to Troll, but there's another hero in this game that has a passive. In fact, this is the most anti-attack speed Viper game you could imagine. Both Lina and Troll Warlord on the other side.
Yeah, true. Didn't even think about the Lina, honestly. That's a very good point with the Fiery Souls, so... Yeah,
actually,
this break is maximum value.
Yeah, if you want real maximum value, should we continue? Visage, Gravekeeper's Cloak, and Earthshaker Aftershock. You actually can't initiate on him. It's very difficult in this game.
Yeah. It ain't too ideal. Bottom lane, it's going to be a free tower push, though, for Nouns, as they're grouping up, including the Morphling. Mentioned that Falcon Blade purchase that he has. Looks like the mid-tier one, though, being counter-pushed by Vici Gaming. So, attempt to trade. TP's coming in, though. KP, could be a roll.
Ooh. He's got a point Nevertoxin, though. That this is not really a kill you can have. You see what I mean about the Viper threat, right? Like, yeah, they don't even attempt it. Meanwhile, bot, though, Yang, he was looming around the tier 1 for a long time. He does get found out in the end.
Oh, yeah, he was... he was deep.
He was deep.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder what he was doing. It looked like he was trying to cut the wave at one point between the tier 1 and tier 2, which is very dangerous to do on the off lane when it's not your off lane. Oh, yeah. Ballsy, though. Snowball.
Just ended up there, but middle lane, snowball in. Frisk gonna be knocked in the air with the Walrus Punch. Of course, Viper there as well. Fissure block, making it a little more difficult, but they do get a kill. Lina, oh, she's found. Sentry's gonna spot her. Having the invis to get to a safe. She gets spotted out, though, with another Toxin. It's making it difficult. Viper tending his ground with the Viper Sing, but it's not gonna be enough. There's that blow up that we're talking about. Lina securing the kill.
Yeah, I think he got baited in a little bit by his team there. It looks like a confident player when you get the shards, but you've got to respect the damage that does come out from the Laguna. Didn't even drop the Nevertoxin, by the way. I was expecting to throw it on Lina, but he held it that whole time, even on the first kill, and I like that detail, actually. You remember what we talked about, like the whole idea is Enigma having black holes as an insurance policy? It sounds dumb or underwhelming, but it's true here. Nevertoxin is an insurance policy. Not if you die, though.
Curse on a Viper. Trying to go for a setup now. Frisk's doing the setup. Doesn't have his Echo Slam just yet. He's not level 6, but it's not going to matter. It seems like at least Gunner's surviving for the time being, but Viper's already dead. That's the key target. Gunner, Grave Chill, more auto attacks needed. The Soul Assumption, excuse me, but Frisk, the Fissure will connect. And there's the LSA, or the Dragon Slave more so, to finish the job.
Yeah, they're becoming slaves to the will of XM here. He's kind of getting back into this game. Being fed back into this game, it's got to be said. That was a weird play, and now Nouns even giving a little cherry on top to the end of that baked cake as Z-Freak is found in the river. Looking at the way this is playing out, I think what happened here is Nouns got sucked into the idea that they have a Viper and should be able to do anything. And while that is on a broad spectrum true, there are limits, right? Like, it's kind of like saying I'm the strongest hero in the game and then walking to the enemy found. Like, you have to cut and run at some point. And I think Nouns, that was a little bit stubborn. I think they need to be very careful, because if that happens once more, Moo's game is kind of chalked. In fact, if you look at his net worth now, he already looks a little bit done.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, the net worth is actually a good showcase, as it usually is, in terms of where this game truly is at. All three cores are top 3 right now for Vici Gaming. The chase is on. Gunnar and a toss in the air. Does have a snowball in for Z-Freak as well. This is a big kill for them, and they're going to get it. He wants to go for the tiny, but Z-Freak will just come back in and secure it. So, solid kill, though, for now. It's one they certainly needed.
Zach just like, typical mids need me to get their kills for them, slaps them once. He's a little bit paranoid as well, because he wasn't sure if there was enough mana to get Laguna down. Like that they're showing that kind of restraint when they're going for these kills. But sometimes, you got to balance that correctly. If you're always this reluctant, there's going to come a key moment where you needed to double down, you might lose a fight. But for small gangs, it's definitely the right way to go.
A lot of focus on these cores, but how about the Earthshaker, by the way, here?
Oh, yeah.
Already 1,700 gold saved up, so that blink going to go right into it. And as it usually is, it's going to be a big factor in terms of advancing this game further for Vici.
Yeah, I'm glad you highlighted that. I wanted to bring that into the picture, is that right now, the cool thing for them, someone I mentioned in the draft, that nouns have a very static draft. So if you just look where the Viper is and the Morphling is on the map, and you want your Shaker to get farm, stick him in one of the other lanes. And there's not really much that nouns can do to rotate and punish that. He's going to get a great time in this blink at this rate. But for now, it looks like he's going to maybe get off the back of a fight if this works well. Frisk backing up for the moment. Bab, I mean BAB. Going to be babed out of this one like the little piggy. And now they're going to chase through. Frisk, he was so close to that blink, and now I have this weird feeling he's about to be a bit further away, Breaky.
Yang has a curse, so you got to respect that, and it does seem like nouns absolutely is. They're not going to overextend, because that's the last thing you want to do with that curse play coming out in the turn, especially near the tower. So, yeah, nouns being disciplined, being patient there, and again, looking at the big net worth, it's dropping to that 1 to 2K range after being about 3,000, and you do see Morphling jumping up as well, as far as his progress specifically, has the power treads to go with the Falcon Blade now. Meanwhile, though,
this is big.
But yeah, bottom lane, they're setting up.
Move in right now, Erica. Stuck on the spot. He can't even get angry to stop himself from dying. Good maneuver in there. Nouns understanding that Troll Warlord right now is the easiest core to kill in this game. And considering how much he's been farming, he's worth killing.
Has Battle Trance, but of course, no point to use it there. That was just certain death, especially with no TP support play to be had. So, yeah, I mean, that still exists, especially if Troll's going to be by himself. Despite what happened in the mid lane earlier with the Viper presence, he can still lock down that Troll when he's alone. Yeah. But there's that blink that we just mentioned, now officially being purchased. Not even a 15-minute blink already on the position for Earthshaker.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, actually. The prioritization given over to Frisk. I love to see this. We've seen teams that build the Shaker in a more passive way. They don't care about his blink timing. They just go Ag Shard, and he becomes a babysitter. I like that Vici's trying to kill with him. They need to kill. They need to have something that enables their Lina. I mentioned it in the draft that they could have, with their final pick, gotten someone that went in. But I like that instead they just said, get Lina, have that scalability, and just prioritize getting initiation on our support.
Familiars, they're in front and scouting out. That's going to be a battle of Familiars versus Eidolons. They just despawn, though, so... You have Yang, he's smoked up, so is Frisk. They come out, but they're chasing. Can they fissure?
The ward means they don't get the big kill. They'll only be able to pick off Husky in the end. That was a lot closer to imminent death for Morphling than you would have think. Like, if it wasn't for that ward, he gets fissured, he's going to be low HP, and an Echo Slam just comes in his face. Mid lane, though.
Got a clash here. It's once again Troll Warlord. He's not by himself. He does have Yang nearby. He also has a Cold Embrace if needed. It's not, though. You
realize just how hard this game is to play for Troll, right? So, you mentioned when bot lane, he could use the Battle Trance to try and survive, but to what end, right? The issue he always has in this game is no matter what he builds, he's dealing against Viper Strike, which cannot be dispelled. So, you're a melee hero that needs to get on top of a target, to stick to them, to net to them, to bash them. Unless your team is initiating, it's very difficult to see a way in which the Troll can fight.
And how about this decision, by the way? We see Viper move. He's queuing up the Ag Scepter, so that nosedive ability going to be coming into play, and it makes sense, right? Not only just yet another tool to deal with this Troll Warlord, but even Lina certainly powerful against my top lane. Tiny's going to be jumped on. The Echo Slam used for this one. Tiny's dead. Z-Freak, he's kind of forced to snowball in aggressively at this point, but pretty much certain death for him too, and it's a 2-for-0 favoring Vici. All 5 here for them.
Yeah, the captain goes down with the ship. That's the way it has to work there. So he will be flopped out alongside his mid. Instantly, you're going to see Vici go into the pit. A great choice here, considering the biggest threat for them is the Tiny right now. The Enigma is nowhere near a blink. In fact, he's going for an aura build. So this is going to be a free Roche going the way of Vici. A big one as well. One that should be going in the pocket of XM.
Makes a space for it, so it looks like that is the case. BKB being built by Troll Warlord, so another reason as to why you see Lina certainly going to be picking up that Aegis as they catch Morphling, but he's a little slippery, not enough follow-up to the Earthshaker, but the clash continues apparently. The shard's up, and Visage, he's completely blocked out from his team. The Cold Embrace, it's not going to save him. There's too much magic damage. They get the kill on Nouns.
Vici need to be careful not to end up that kid that touches an iron, goes, ow, that's hot, and then forgets that the iron's hot 4 minutes later and touches it again. Spoiler alert, I was that kid. They keep going on to the Viper that they still don't have the tools to deal with. They need to avoid him. Like, yes, they've got Aegis, and you'd think they're confident to take fights, but Mu is just an unbeatable hurdle right now. You know, 1.5k HP, almost maxed out corrosive skin. Like you said, going for the Ag, so he's going to be even harder to breach into. Which, by the way, like, back to your Ag's point, I love it in this game. It's amazing for the disarm against these multiple right-clickers. In fact, every core in Vici wants to right-click. On top of that, attack speed is the other spit in the face. Never Toxin being pristine in its placement isn't going to be as big a requirement anymore now that you've got the slam.
Well, you've got Vici kind of defensive posturing right now around their tier 2 tower. That's Nouns is pretty far pushed up. Costabile actually in front. In fact, Frisk almost had a chance right there for the stun, but Costabile is able to react to the waveform. However, Tusk, double familiar stuns. Again, not worth the commitment if you're Vici, as Nouns was ready to brawl if necessary. But Lina, she's almost got her BKB. Clearly, these are items that, as always, are going to be important for Vici, that they want to prioritize those before they fight too much. But as I say this, Frisk, he got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
And turns out Cookie's going to cannibalize him instead. Frisk is just gone. Cold Embrace doesn't even assist. America needs to be careful as well. The Viper Strike is still available. When his curse does get thrown out, that's going to allow him to chase in on Gunner. A good maneuver in the end for Vici. Looks like the mid of Nouns might be going down, but no, the save comes out. The black hole is big from Husky. Even catches the familiars. No interruption in place. They will be able to back away.
The black hole defensive, though, of course, no kills coming out of it, but it helps to secure Gunner's survival. In fact, Gunner's not going to run back in and will get the kill on a Winter Wire and then beelines out of there. So the black hole does honestly do quite a bit in there. Even though it didn't secure the kill initially, it allows Gunner to reset and get another one. But more importantly, again, he stays alive on the Tiny. So pretty big deal. But the clash, in the end, as far as the recap is concerned, it did still slightly favor Vici. They did not get rid of the Aegis, and both the Troll and the Lina do survive.
Oh, it favors them for a big reason. They actually managed to kill the Viper, and now top Echo Slat and the combo coming out. Costabile trying to morph up, but he's got nowhere to go. They will find the kill, and it's going to be a big one.
Oh, he morphed into the Troll Warlord, maybe for some whirling axes, for some evasion, just trying to live. It ain't going to happen, though, and now Z-Freak, the Savior teammate syndrome, unfortunately coming into play.
We've been here before.
He's going to run. Yeah, we have. He's like, all right, just chase me as long as possible. He's got a snowball.
These phase boots, man, these phase boots are paying for themselves. Like, usually you see Tusks regularly go into the Tranks, but especially in this game with the attack range on Lina and the fat drop against Visage, they be cancelled constantly. Phase boots are saving him. Not this time, though.
Not this time. Now he's actually dead.
Snowballing after a creep wave under E for tier 2 is usually a way to guarantee death, I find.
I mean, what? That was 30 seconds longer than it should have taken.
It was.
So
Yeah.
That's fine.
Someone I want to highlight on that fight we had bot was a really big fight and a really big moment because they actually found a way of killing the Viper. They just had to recruit the Eidolons of Enigma. Killing Mu is a very big deal. It set back his time in his Ags. He still hasn't quite completed it yet. And maybe it's starting to show signs of hope that they have a way of killing off this Viper.
Viper with the Dragon Lance and these, what are we going to be seeing? Saint Yasha going to be coming out from the looks of it, so well, I'm not sure actually.
No, it should be his axe.
Oh, the axe, yeah. I'm like sitting here
axe.
Like, wait, what is that? No, the Blade of Alacrity. What do we? No, the axe is talked about earlier. Yes. I'm very excited to see that though. That is no doubt going to be a big ability for Nouns to take advantage of.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is if you remember yesterday, I talked about this idea that we've seen Vipers in the past try to fight their natural state, which is you do not move. don't do it. Just double down on what you are, which is a fortress. This way, he's going to force a fight around him, and when he does, he's going to have all this utility because of the Ags pickup. Like, right, I can't emphasize it, Breaky. You can't move with this hero. Like, look at his movement speed right now. 275 on Viper. He has phase boots, and that barely cracks 300.
Well, that's why they bring the fight to them, I suppose.
Yeah, do you remember the days when people built boots to travel, and then they nerfed his movement speed, and then people still were trying to build boots to travel, and eventually, like, someone clicked in players' heads. They were like, "Why are we doing this? This is just." It's like you're taking the strengths of the hero, ignoring them, and saying, "I'm gonna make this a jack of all trades."
Yeah. Enigma, interesting. So he actually had the blink queued up earlier. He finished the Vlads. He was thinking about the blink, but he's gonna kind of shift here and go the Wraith Pact instead, which is a great item. And I think that's potentially the correct call. They already have some decent initiation, and the black hole itself is no guarantee by any means either. So I don't think they needed to go all in on the blink initiation for him.
Yeah, I just like that he's just providing utility. I think it's very important. It's difficult for support Enigmas especially to do, just because you don't have as much gold typically. But if your team gives you a little bit of space, you can definitely farm up with this hero still.
Yeah. Speaking of Wraith Pact, I saw Vici. Yeah, Vici actually had someone of his own. He's had it for a bit, so they've been making use of that in the fights. Nice stamina jump. Lifesteal aura.
And Drum's coming next on the Visage. Another attack speed buff to try and offset the Malice you're going to get from this Viper. Man, it's just it really is just a race to see who can end up with either a net positive or net negative in attack speed, isn't it?
Yes. Roshan, a minute and a half on the red timer, so positioning kind of being forced out from Vici Gaming in terms of pushing the top lane. They want to get this top tier 2, and certainly start warding up in the jungle up here to try to claim that second Roshan once he eventually does spawn. So it should be a free tier 2 tower. As you see nouns in the mini-map, they are spread throughout and farming elsewhere throughout the map currently. Speaking of farm, and there's a blink purchase on Tusk actually, so Seafree now has his own blink. Bottom lane, there's TPs coming in.
Yep, Frisk. Ooh. He sees Husky. They just pinged it out. He gets stunned as well. No way he can walk away from this. He has to commit the black hole. Reinforcements have arrived, though. Mistakes were made. And the winner's curse turn around. Now the Tusk is going to be the one paying the price. But that is an exchange you take every day of the week.
Yeah, and his explosive ability is able to morph into the Earthshaker as well. And guess who's here? It's Viper. There's the dive down. And the toss back onto the Earthshaker. He's going to get picked up as well. Moo, he wants another one. He wants Yang. Golden Embrace keeping it alive for the time being. Troll Roller beat down. Moo, he overextended. He's got that skin. It is tanky as hell, but he might have went too far. He absolutely did. His team just cannot support him comfortably enough. And so Moo will fall. It ends up being a 2 for 2. Gunner's still here. The familiar scouts him, having to blink out.
Yeah, he can't go for more there. He does what he can, but we are seeing the weakness of the Viper. It turns out trees are not your friend. Timbersaw may have been onto something that they're out to get him, because that's why the Troll was able to do anything. If Troll walked up the lane towards that Viper strike, you aren't touching him. That's what matters here. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if down the line Erica considered a blink. Cool difference here, though. Instead of going for the blink dagger that I would have been a big fan of, he's going to optimize into the Lincolns, which gives him some value against other heroes in this lineup as well. Whereas Blink, sure, you could get in quickly, but you aren't necessarily going to have any sort of kind of counterplay against, say, the Tiny or the Tusk.
Sorry, who are we going for Lincolns?
On the troll.
Oh, the
Erica,
troll warlord. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's either Blink or Lincolns, because you need something to deal with the Viper Strike. But I like this approach. I think it's just like the Lincolns is more scalability because you get stats as well, while Blink is kind of leaving you naked and bare. And, you don't have that Lincolns yet, sir. Playing this ambitiously is bold, to say the least, but it's like the Wraith Pact aura is going to scare away nouns. Saves the day in the end.
Well, again, they're positioning him on Roshan. He could spawn at any second right now, as we see it's about a minute away still. But both teams certainly understand how important the second Roshan is. Again, Vici especially, they can kill it quickly with that Troll Warlord and Lina. So Nouns is almost playing it more defensively, wanting to prevent it, or Vici certainly wants to take it for themselves. But it's going to spawn in about 40 seconds, and that could be the key to certainly starting something next, as far as another big fight is concerned. But Ags is almost finished on Morphling, by the way, so another big item coming.
Yeah, but I do see one issue for Nouns is they have no BKBs whatsoever, and Vici have 2. The reason this is going to be important around the Roche fight is that both sides do have the Wraith Pact. So one side is going to be missing 30% damage. That's going to be a big difference maker here. I think it's going to be very difficult for Nouns to fight a 5-on-5 directly at the Roche Pit. They need to pick off.
Oh, that usually starts with maybe a smoke play, but don't know if they necessarily... They do have one on Enigma currently. That's the only one I see, so we'll see if that actually comes out. But Roshan, as we notice, has officially respawned. And that's the second one with the refresher shard, of course. It's going to be spotted here by the familiars of Vici, and if they just go down, this might just be a free kill. Yeah, they're going in, and there's no sight for Nouns. They don't actually know. It's going to be a free kill.
Yeah, you just can't get hit quick enough. Like, if you're not there immediately with a Lina and a Troll Warlord, this is going to be dead every day of the week. And you can see they smoked, but it's too late. You need to smoke straight away against this type of lineup.
I mean, to be fair, that timing prediction by Vici happened to be pure perfect. Or near perfect.
It really was.
They were like 2 seconds right after he spawned. They selected 2 seconds later, and sure enough, he was there. It could have easily been another minute or so for him to spawn, but that's part of the randomness, of course, in the game that we all love. There's 5-player smoke for Nouns.
Yeah.
They're still using it, and we're going to see that clash now, KP.
Jump in, immediately on the lean up, but turn around with the Witness Curse. XM stays alive. LSA follow-up will continue to back away. Now the Troll gets to go in. The damage is high here. Z-Freaks will at least look to get rid of that Aegis. Will be able to do so, but there's a big issue on the other side of the fight. The Troll is in, however, he has to be saved by the Cold Embrace. That may have been slightly counterintuitive. Costa Bile now has to stand his ground, but happy to do so. Troll down, Visage gone as well. XM has to BKB TP away. This fight that should have went Vici's way has gone anything but.
Troll Warlord could not play his hero that whole game, between the whole fight, rather a lot of this game, frankly, but in that fight specifically, the crowd control from the opposition as well as his own ultimate basically just made it so he couldn't actually fight throughout it. I mean, the damage, what does the damage even say? Yeah, he only did 1,100 damage in total. You see that in comparison to everyone else, just ridiculous. Bottom lane, they are looking for another kill, by the way. XM, he's trying to get out of this with that Shadow Blade, and Gunnar.
It's okay. It's just cores. It's just cores here. They don't have detection. They never have detection. But no. You were right. There was a lot of crowd control in that fight onto the Troll Warlord breaky. Most notably, the Cold Embrace from your own Winter Wyvern. He couldn't attack. He used the Battle Trance and then immediately got Cold Embrace. We're going to see it in the replay here. It's very difficult to play Wyvern, even for pros. It's very easy to make mistakes like this. Just a slight miscommunication, and this is what happens.
Well, I will say this to the credit of Yang in that fight. Their Winter's Curse reaction initially was great. I mean, if it wasn't for the really just instant reaction, then Lina dies off the bat, and that fight, it still was pretty poor for them in the end, but it could have even been worse, I suppose, if that actually happened. But yeah, I mean, that's a big fight for Nouns. I mean, net worth overall still is in the favor of Vici Gaming, but only about 2,000. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to point out in that fight is Morphling choosing to morph into the Troll Warlord. You know, you would think, especially with the Yagd, maybe going to go for that Earthshaker. We've already seen once or twice this game. Morphing into the Troll Warlord, thus the enhanced damage as a result with that attack speed, and that's certainly allowed him to put in more damage in that fight.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, actually. He has great options. Even if he doesn't go for the Troll, he could go for the Lina, get the attack speed there with the Fiery Souls. Like, it's just, chef's kiss. And the classic we always got to keep in mind is that Shaker, right? Even if you're not looking at the cores, Shaker's always going to be a beaut for the chase. It just feels like a really, really good Morphling game, man. The more you look at it, the more you realize just how good this pick was. And part of it was how Vici started the draft, and part of it was how they continued.
I think he just got that, but yeah, the tree volley we're seeing there as well being used by Gunnar. So that's another tool that they have for just the massive AoE damage. The fights Earthshaker's going to be AoE damage. He's going to get God on Costa Bile, basically turning into the Earthshaker and going against him. Not going to get the kill initially. Cold Embrace saved him, but in the backlines, Winter Wyvern is picked off. Curse unable to be used as a result. However, Tusk too committed for him, so he does go down. But the Fissure from Costa Bile going for Lina. They want that kill to BKB though, and now Morphling. Did he dive too far? The LSA? No. The answer is no. He's fine. In fact, he's going to search now for the Earthshaker and go for him. Up here, we see Visage is picked off by the rest of the supporting cast, though, on Nouns, and a 3-for-1 is where this fight will finish.
As soon as I mention the Morphling and what he can do with the cores, but usually wants to do the Shaker, immediately turns to the Shaker. And you just see the impact I'm talking about. Gets 2 heroes, almost ironically kills the owner of the one that he morphs into, and it just starts to snowball from there. And speaking of snowballs, man, this Tusk is playing with confidence. This is usually the stage of the game where you become a Superman, right? You're there to save the day, but not, Superman's the wrong way. You're just that guy who dresses in spandex and saves cats from trees, right? You're not really the guy who saves the world from destruction. It feels like Z-Freak is finding a way to do that, though, and I love what's coming next. He's queued up the Ags, already has one component, almost the second. This new Ags is actually disgusting on this hero, Breaky, because Walrus Kick, you can now choose the direction you target in. So you can essentially snowball fish in, kick an opponent towards your team, and then blink away. And what makes it even more disgusting is, remember, Tusk can use his abilities while snowballed.
Yeah, it's specifically that Lina and even the Winter Wyvern can certainly see those are targets that he's going to be hunting for to kick them into the fray of the fight where they don't want to be necessarily to help burst them down. So that's going to be a big tool now. It's still a bit of ways. This is a position 4 after all in Z-Freak, and he only has the Ogre Axe currently, but going to keep our eye on when he's actually able to finish that. I notice Viper also picking up a Ghost Scepter, by the way. So another defensive measure that he has. Perhaps that Ethereal Blade is going to be coming out in full, but makes sense. The Hurricane Pike also be delivered on their side. It's actually, for the Viper. That's coming out now, too.
It's another element to his survivability that then is eventually going to turn into aggression. Same like the Ags tanked him up, but then it's also given the disarm over, right? Everything that Moo is drafting for this game in terms of items is about the idea of I stand longer and I debuff you further. I actually love this approach. And it's funny because when you look at Vici's items, everything that they've done is to offset all these debuffs. The Lincolns, the BKBs, the AC even. It's just to try and return to you what Viper's taking away.
Now, Silver Edge on Lina being actually finished is a big deal, right? Because that break effect can get the opening on a Viper. Suddenly, he isn't as tanky, at least, than before. So that's going to be crucial in terms of that initiation. And I'm sure that's going to be the target that he's going to be looking to apply that break effect on, if possible. But 5-player smoke, or really 4, as Troll's not with them. But Vici Gaming heading into the Dire Jungle now. It doesn't look like they're going to find anyone, though. Illusion's coming over here. But though really is that quickly, so no brawl yet.
Yeah, and Nouns have sniffed this out. They know exactly where Vici are. They're going to smoke up and look to wrap around and catch them on the retreat. It's unlikely that Vici blindly want to just park around here and try to take the tier 2s. So what Nouns are anticipating is that they're going to come back to the Radiant side of the map.
Oh, well, they would be right if that's the case. That's a scan, and that's a Dire scan, actually. So it was their own, just scanning ahead. And
they're coming, though.
Not seeing anybody, but it's so close. Yeah, it's a matter of just a couple of seconds. It feels like they're so close, but they're not going to see each other, and thus the engagement will not take place yet.
Moo revealed himself on the outpost. They were dangling him there, and actually it looked like Vici were going to nibble at the bait for a second, but they showed discipline.
They reset and they smoke immediately again. They just smoked 4, and now they smoke 5. Vici really wants that opening, of course, understandably, but it is just on a razor edge right here for both sides. You can tell they don't want to jump. Well, maybe we found a chance, Tusk. Now he's got support and 4 staff away. So again, you just don't want to overcommit too. And Tusk isn't necessarily the target. You're going to go all in.
No, it's the type of hero that you don't really want to go all in on, but then you see he has a gem, you're like, oh, shiny, right? It's just such a big boon if you can take that away from him. So they start to probe. It's a bit risky, but you can see they're not willing to follow through. Like, they understand if a Tusk is sitting here with a gem as well, there must be a team sitting behind him.
Yeah. Well, Roshan, I suppose that third Roshan is understandably going to be the next focus. We got about 10 seconds on the red timer, and then we'll see how much length we have in terms of how long it's actually going to be. Meanwhile, looking around Visage, he's got that Assault Curiosity. I think he's had that for a while. He's thinking about building a Scythe. That's still a bit of ways, but certainly more crowd control. Nothing wrong with that. It's going to be a long Roshan, we noticed. It's over 2 minutes, so still a bit before that'll happen.
So where this gets really spooky is if Visage gets to the Scythe and then eventually gets to the Ags. It's a lot of gold, yes, but at that stage, Costabile's game is very unsafe. He's gone BKB Manta. The problem with this is now, like, you're in a situation where Lincoln's maybe looks desirable, but you never want to be building free defensive items or morph. It just prevents you from scaling to try and match what the Troll's going to do later on in the game.
Speaking of Troll, well, Troll and Lina, both the first to hit level 20 in this game and get their 20 talents. And I think Lina's the biggest one to note is that plus 15, the 1% Fiery Soul per stack, right? That kind of goes with the idea of that right-click damage that she can put out. And although she doesn't have like that Chrysalis or Daedalus by any means, she still is doing plenty if she's able to sit there and turret. But mid lane, gonna use that Ags effect of Tiny to help push it out. Again, they're so close to engaging, it feels like, but neither team wants to overcommit. But this does, it seems like this is favoring Nouns overall right now, especially with the positioning, because they are in a better position for Roshan when he eventually does spawn. But oh, they're going aggressive with the Silver Edge. Nope, never mind.
Yeah, it's just too risky. You never want to Silver Edge walk up in this high ground. They've probably got sentries, right? You know that they've taken your vision away. They've probably got their own vision, so not risking it. By the way, have you seen this ward? This ward is not exactly the vision you're looking for on the high ground. On the high ground near Costa Bile. So I think that was a misclick. He didn't put it on the highest point, so he's got kind of baby vision here. Don't do this, folks. This is not intended.
Because one of those, like, in the moment, got scared maybe. Oh, the engagement, trying to get a jump in. The BKB pops the tree volley on the top of Frisk. Gonna not allow him to get a good initiation. Winter Wyvern bursts it off the bat. He buys back immediately. They need him back in. He still has that curse. Troll Warlord trying to find his target. He finds Tusk for the time being. Buyback also an Earthshaker, by the way. So everyone is up for now. Tusk, as I say, that goes down, and he's the only one dead.
Man, Gunner's just cruising through as well. The haste rune allowed him going so deep and zone away any reinforcements. That's why this fight just broke up and has gone on pause. And now, with it hitting resume, there's going to be a move in by Costa Bile. Yang is just gone. That's the dieback. No way back into this, and they just lost full control around the Roche pit. Nouns can just go back for the key objective.
Which is Roshan, and he is up, yeah. That's Z-Freak's going to scout that, but that's a very critical dieback, because that, especially with the curse still being off cooldown.
Yeah.
Unable to use it for the next minute now. Does Vici really try to defend this? I don't think they do without the Winter Wyvern, and they're not.
No, the best thing you can do now is you go to the opposite side of the map and take a tower, and you can see them making that move. The reason this is a good play is because they haven't completed Roche yet. You can potentially get in position, take the tower, and it's very difficult to TP in to then defend this. But it seems like the creep wave didn't push quick enough. Instead, they won't even go for an objective there. So Nouns don't even take like a kick to the shin in the process of winning the fight, right? They get the win there directly. They get a big dieback coming out on that Wyvern. They get their hands on the Aegis. And although Vici are now going to try to poke the tower a little, by the time they do, Nouns are going to be assaulting the high ground.
Yeah, tier 4 items are certainly helpful, but exactly, Nouns is looking to siege. They got the cheese, as you mentioned, on Tiny. He's got the Refresher Shard as well. And Morphling, of course, the one with the Aegis. He has Morph ready. We saw him morph into that Earthshaker the last time, so again, really just kind of the circumstantial. Whatever they give him, he'll gladly morph into either the Troll or the Earthshaker, the high priority ones, it seems like. The set of racks, though, they lose the range. The melee they're protecting, they're not going to give it up for free, at least. And back we go, the jump in from Erica. Yeah, they go in, the snowball save immediately, though, and now they're looking to turn the Black Hole lockdown onto Erica. He can't do a damn thing. You see the right click still of XM, not going to be enough to kill Viper. Somehow he lives. The Battle Trance keeping him alive for the time being and actually healing up now, and it's fight back time for Vici Gaming, KP.
Morph? Yeah, Morph's gone. First life. Second might not be far behind him, but good save from Gunner. He interrupts the stance there. XM could not use the LSA in time. They're going to turn. Morphling comes in on him. Erica forced to stand his ground, but it is going to be futile against the power of the Water Boy. They are in with the slam moves, and it looks like Vici are going to be the ones wiped in the end.
Wow, what a turn. It absolutely is a wipe. It's a complete wipe out, an annihilation, you could say, coming out for Nouns, and now they're going for the tier 3 mid lane. I don't know if this game is just finished just like that, but what a fight and a comeback, frankly, for Nouns in that. It absolutely seemed like that was a lost cause, but Gunner with the tree volley as the resurrection was happening on Morphling, I think was definitely the big key to allowing Morphling to do what he did, which, by the way, was still impressive in itself, right? Morphing into the Earthshaker immediately, dueling against Alina, taking out the Troll as fast as he did, and then with the Earthshaker morph, helping to secure more, and ultimately, as we saw, everyone falling. So the buyback on Visage, Vici Gaming knows that they still have a chance, but Nouns has controlled this game now.
Yeah, and the clutch detail truly in that fight, that it was the Mindbreaker. The Mindbreaker on Gunner, that silence screwed the timing because their intent was to immediately stun Morphling upon revival from the Aegis. Did not get the chance. We're going to see it here in the replay, but this was a phenomenal fight. Also, another cool detail is Enigma built Aether Lens in this game. It was so much harder for Yang to find the Enigma initially, and although he gets an amazing Winter's Curse deeper in the fight, it didn't come as quickly as it normally would if this was a blink initiation Enigma. And here's the detail. Watch what Gunner does. He patiently waits, he sees XM, and then immediately hurls out the trees to get that silence long enough that Costa Bile gets the BKB off.
Yeah, it's impressive play all around, and you have a smoke play coming out for Nouns. It's Tiny not included. He's going to lurk around the side, but the jump is found. They find, again, the Wyvern. and they're going to secure the kill. 50 seconds he's out for, and like we keep going back to, without the Wyvern, Vici Gaming's chances of winning these fights, winning these brawls, drastically goes down.
Seriously, like you hit it on the head. The Wyvern's kind of everything now. You can't really mount a respectable defense without it. It kind of feels like nouns are so far ahead. If you can't turn the damage against them, you can't really win these fights, especially now that Black Hole's coming off cooldown. Husky, he does have a Blink Dagger. Luckily for Vici, it is on cooldown for 8 seconds, but after that, it's going to be party time for nouns.
And, you know, he's ready. That's cooldown's going to be wearing off here. 15 seconds for Winter Wyvern, so they got to be wary of that. They do take out the 1 rack, but it's fight time. There's a jump in the backlines. The immediate response from Tussle once again. Erica has a Battle Trance, will pop it, but the Black going to lock him down. The Battle Trance essentially useless as the result, and it's going to be wearing off in a second. Lincoln's will be popping now. Lena doing what she can. Go for the first shot on a Tusky. Gets the kill and heals on up. Does Lena with the Satanic. Now the Curse. Morphling. Held in place. It tickles a little bit. He's adapting though. He's just fine. He's going to fall back, but KP, they're still going to hold in.
Scardy's slow, means Gunner can't easily get away. XM is stabilizing them here. They keep the melee racks alive. They'll find the kill onto the Tiny. No way can be protected through this indefinitely, but Moo, in the meantime, the click's coming out. Is going to force XM away. Costabile looking for the reinitiation here. Will get a freebie, baited in somewhat by XM, but tanky enough that he doesn't pay the price. Moo does go down to Erica, but still, that is a troll wall of buyback, and you are barely holding on.
Yeah, it's, again, it's exactly, it's one of those like, okay, we actually held them off, but, you know, what did it really cost them? Well, quite a bit, including all the racks that were destroyed. Again, the melee racks bought him, the only one alive right now on the side of Vici Gaming. Now, this game isn't over. Let's just start with that. This game is definitely not over. Vici Gaming has the ability to still win this game if you're not careful on the side of nouns. I mean, we've seen how many smokes Vici Gaming's been willing to use. I don't know if they have one just yet up, but when they do, certainly, I'm sure that's going to come into play, whether or not they wait for another Roshan to play around. But if they can find that jump, if they can get in the back lines, if they can get the Enigma killed right off the bat, and, you know, get a good jump on the Morphling especially, they certainly have the capability to still win this game. So what I'm getting at is nouns just needs to be careful not to, you know, get too aggressive here.
Yeah, like Vici, they've still got their hands up. They're ready to box. What nouns is keeping secret, though, is that their boxing gloves, they've got one of those little pistols inside it, right? So they've got this extra cheap shot of the fact they have buybacks. That detail cannot be understated here. Costabile is just flowing out of range of it, but if you look, you can see 3 available and 3 big ones. 2 of them being on the cause, and then, of course, the other one being on the Enigma. Something that Vici don't have access to. At least their supports buybacks are coming off cooldown, but that troll is missing buyback for 6 minutes. Roche is potentially up in less than 2. You're going to have to find a pick. You can't really risk going for a direct fight in the pit if you're Vici.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be worth it. And I just can't get over it. This Troll Warlord, it really is an insanely difficult game for him. The fact he's 3-7-12, but it's one of those that's like, it kind of makes sense because of everything he has to deal with in these fights. But we've already talked about the Viper plenty, but we see constantly Z-Freak's there ready to counter, ready to jump in with a snowball save immediately and put his stun in. The Black Hole of Enigma is obviously sitting back and waiting almost for the troll to jump in, pop his Battle Trance, and then use it. We've seen that multiple times. So it's, again, continuing to be a difficult game. You mentioned the Ags on Visage potentially coming. It does hit now. Visage has the Ag, so that's a key.
The problem is, what's your target? Can you easily take anyone out? Like, even if you try to snipe the Enigma, that should be the easiest kill. If your team's nowhere nearby, he's going to black hole you, and that's still a kill on a core. So very difficult to find the right target. They're going to open up on Costabile, but not the ideal one to go for here. It's just way too tanky. And another cool detail to think about here, you mentioned the troll and how the Viper has made his life hard. We've kind of, you know, we've jerked Moo off at this point. We've saying he's the most amazing thing in the world. He's fantastic in this game. But so's Gunner. Gunner went for this tree volley build intentionally so the troll can continuously never attack anyone. Everything that they've done has been a let's not go near the troll type strategy. And it's why Erica's game looks even more brutal than we originally defined.
Yeah. Can't stress it enough. It is not a fun game to be playing this Troll Warlord, but again, still stand with, they have a chance, they have the opening if they can get it with a smoke play perhaps, like we talked about no Roshan, we're going to find out here soon. It's a minute and a half. You do see Nouns heading over now to potentially start checking it, so a little bit longer of a Roshan spawn. That'll give a bit of time here for figuring out as far as what Vici Gaming wants to do, but there's the official check and realizing it is not up yet. Levels, by the way, continue to be important. There's 4 different heroes that are 25 plus.
Good lord.
Both cores really on both sides in that 1 and 2 role. So those are some. The Battle Trance Strong Dispel picked up from Troll. You got the Laguna Blade piercing spell immunity. And then on the other side, what do we got? Tiny with the 2 toss charges, and yeah, Morphling with the 2 waveform charges.
You know, more of anything is better, right? Just like, especially with the Morphling, it's another element like that. That's the final detail. Morphling could always just go in, and now you can get away from Erica. So once again, just Troll can't attack anything, and just look at the damage coming in on him right now. Forces the BKB and immediately waveforms away. Oh no,
that's not what you want. Yeah, that's
what you
Morphling
got.
also morphing into the Troll Warlord. So again, he's got that benefit with the Ags effect as well. So he is just an attacking machine. 15 seconds on Roshan.
Yeah, right now Vici just looking at this Morphling going, why can't that be our Troll, right? Every time he turns to Troll, it's like, yeah, if only our carrier is that way. But man, Erica, it's a miracle he's even doing this well on the net worth. Fight's going to come out on the BAB. Winner's Curse turnaround though, and this is going to set up the Troll to maybe get a good fight. But without BKB, I don't know if he can hang around. Echo Slam, Black Hole, counter-attack!
And the lockdown was there. The buyback from Earthshaker coming out now. Husky trying to run away, but you got the Viper using the Hurricane Pike. Morphling's just standing strong in the midst of the fight. That's going to be a kill on Troll Warlord, no surprise. He's out for 2 minutes with no buyback. Meanwhile, they do pick up Tusk. Or so Enigma in the backlines, but he buys back immediately. Frisk is now trying to run. Just delayed as anything. It's probably not worth the chase. He picks up the Arcane Rune. But yeah, go back in if you're Nouns. You can potentially finish this game now. The 2 of the cores are dead, including that Troll Warlord. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this with really just the Lena as your damage source.
Wow, what a ton of events there. The Echo Slam setup looks good, but you see the issue, right? What happened there? Troll still goes down in the end, but it all begins that hesitation. It's because he doesn't have BKB. It comes back to that earlier move in the mid lane. Nouns baiting that out meant they could confidently take this fight, and Husky, even with the premium Black Hole time and time again in this game, and it's getting easier and easier as it goes on. Now, with an Aegis in their hand and possibly a win under their belt, Nouns are starting this day off strong.
Yeah, this has got to feel so good for them. Again, it's not guaranteed just yet, but again, I talked about it. It's like, frankly, especially after that game 1 against Seeker, we're sitting like, okay, it's going to be a rough time for Nouns overall, but hey, you know, they've had a good trip, and, you know, we'll see them later on, I suppose. But, whoa, hold your horses, because they beat Secret in game 2, and to finish off day 1, and now here they are starting off day 2, looking pretty good. They're about to, you know, get a good victory over a strong team out of China here in Vici Gaming, so... again, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but yes, the point is they got some potential momentum coming out here, but they're all 5 going to be joined up here at the bottom lane. Morphling has the Aegis. It's just a matter of how do you engage this, and Coastal Believe's like, here's how you engage, baby, let's go.
Instant buyback, instant gone. Costabile did use the BKB, but here we go indeed. Looking like it'll be Mega Creeps forced to commit onto the Lena. Stun comes out. She is invis, but she's spotted. Forced to fight up against Z-Freak. Costabile will turn here and return fire volley coming in. The Avalanche toss follow up as well. Lena protected for the moment by the Cold Embrace, but the damage too heavy. She is gone, down and dust. Looking like it'll be Mega Creeps forced to commit onto the Lena. Stun comes out. She is invis, but she's spotted. Forced to fight up against Z-Freak. Costabile will turn here and return fire volley coming in. The Avalanche toss follow up as well. Lena protected for the moment by the Cold Embrace, but the damage too heavy. She is gone, down and dusted out of the game for 2 minutes, and Nouns may have just closed this one out.
Troll's up in a couple seconds, but what have we constantly gone back to? Troll Warlord might as well be a support hero at this point, because it doesn't seem like he can really do anything in these fights. The Winter's Curse. Oh, Tiny's going to die from this, actually, so it ends up being a really good Winter's Curse thanks to the Morphling beatdown, but Costabile, now pissed off that he made him kill his teammate, wants to actually kill... Oh, Tiny's going to die from this, actually, so it ends up being a really good Winter's Curse thanks to the Morphling beatdown, but Costabile, now pissed off that he made him kill his teammate, wants to actually kill the Visage. However, the lockdown, the double stun, thanks to Earthshaker, Morphling does have to be careful all of a sudden, but he's got Satanic, he's got the Aegis, and a jump in from Tiny! Tiny's gonna die back! Oh no, what is happening for now? Costabile, again, he's got the Aegis and Satanic, like I said, but the Cold Embrace is gonna keep Visage alive, and they're gonna at least burn the Aegis here.
Castle Curse, checking mic right now, because I believe this Morphling is looking like a Schmorfling, a Schmump right now. He's going to be taken out. Vici, against all the odds, stabilize and hold on, and all of a sudden, this game, it's just been flipped on its back. You can't really say it's over anymore.
Oh, why did we start talking about this for now? And how this is moment? Oh man, I'm sorry. Why did we do that? Oh geez, this is.
It looks
this is
so
something.
done. It looks so done, and all of a sudden, this game, it's just been flipped on its back. You can't really say it's over anymore.
Oh, why did we start talking about this for now? And how this is moment? Oh man, I'm sorry. Why did we do that? Oh geez, this is.
It looks
this is
so
something.
done. It looks so done, but we forgot. It's always the winner Wyvern. That Wyvern, that cursed turnaround, always turning the power of NA against itself. Poetic and ironic.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, again, it goes back to nouns. Now, again, the win condition for Vici is play to tier 5 items, right? When you're in this much of a deficit, you still have tier 2s to get through. You're 1 racks away from getting mega creeps against you. You need to try to make it long as last as possible. You see a triple bounty right down here, that's funny, but make it last as long as possible to get to those tier 5 items, make this game absolute chaos, and then try to potentially win off of that. But they're going to keep pushing for now. I mean, Lina's up at 3 seconds. Morphling, 30 seconds, does have a buyback. If anything, they do want to force it. They know Tiny's staying dead, but Morphling, they would like to get that used, but I don't think they're going to be able to here.
No, Nouns will hold on because they've got a tier 2 bot, so they can't be mega creeps, and the throne can't be killed in 20 seconds. Now, the negative for Nouns still is the fact that they might lose Moo. Uh-oh. BKB.
Erica's far. Okay.
Good save. Yeah, Z-Freak saves the day. Moo is going to get away, so they do stay alive. A little bit dicey there. The detail's going to highlight, by the way, is Vici didn't get megaed. They still have a melee rack spot, so they are very much still in this game.
Yeah, and that's a big factor. I mean, obviously, Nouns was going to attempt to try to finish that, especially with the kill on Lina, but as they were doing so, that's where that curse came into play and changed everything from Yang, you know? It's, the Octarine Core pickup, by the way, on the Winter Wyvern as well.
Oh, wow.
It's so good. 80-second cooldown now on that curse, but the Cold Embrace also 11 seconds, so pretty value there.
So you're saying the winner's curse, cast a curse.
A lot of curses,
Many curses.
Yeah.
And many more issues coming soon, actually. This Wyvern, like you were talking about 25s earlier, the Wyvern's the one I'm watching for. Wyvern is one of the most impactful level 25s you can find in this game. The Splinter Blast 1.5 second stun is disgusting. Actually, even the Winter's Curse is desirable. But then again, maybe a Morphling doesn't need more than 6 seconds to kill his own teammates.
I mean, that was Tiny that he just wrecked. His teammate, a core Tiny, that has 3,900 life, by the way, right now. So, yeah, I don't think he needs that much longer, if any, to necessarily kill his teammates.
Don't forget the armor as well. Like 23 armor is no joke to get through, even for Morphling at this stage. But, whew, lordy, you can see that they are a lot more hesitant in these days.
Well, it's really interesting. Oh, actually, no, Morphling. Morphling's jumps up. Oh, he's dead! He fights back immediately, but what happened to Curse on a Tiny? The black hole from Husky, though. He caught Lina in the back lines. Morphling needs to get back here. He is coming back now, but he's not here just yet. Lina's able to survive. You see Viper locked out in the midst of it, trying to go for the kill on Visage. And Lina's eventually going to fall. Finally, Morphling will show. No, Lina survived, actually, the heals. No, she does go down. She's down for 100. The Echo Slam, excuse me, coming out for the Earthshaker, but Kosumine morphing into the ES. And now using it against him once again. 3-yard down with Kill back. The buyback from Troll Warlord. But this, dare I say it, may actually be the end.
It is, yeah. It's done. There's no way. Erica could not fight for the second half of that battle. They will call GG, and what a way to turn it around. As shaky start to that fight, but on shaky ground, they have firm footing. Nouns will close out game 1 against Vici.
Whew. I mean, that was a hell of a game all throughout, but did not expect to have to make it that climactic at the end there. As far as a hold your horses, we might actually have a comeback in the making here for Vici Gaming. But Nouns does take care of business in the end, and they do secure.